Today I want to tell you a story that mixes the chills of our childhood with the horror of Stephen King. Take a deep breath and get ready to immerse yourself in a night you won't easily forget. It was an evening like many others. After a long day of work at the office, I had finally sat down on the couch to relax a bit. I turned on the TV and started scrolling through the channels, but I couldn't concentrate on anything. I felt restless, as if something was out of place. The house was quiet, too quiet. A subtle but persistent anxiety enveloped me, making the air heavy and suffocating. I decided to take a walk in the park near my house, hoping that the fresh air would help clear my mind. The park was deserted and silent, except for the slight rustle of the leaves moved by the wind. The streetlights cast long, eerie shadows on the trees and paths. Every step I took echoed in the darkness, amplifying my anxiety. I walked slowly, trying to enjoy the tranquility, when I suddenly heard a noise behind me. I turned quickly, my heart pounding in my chest, but I saw nothing. Just the leaves dancing in the wind. I continued walking, but that feeling of being watched wouldn't leave me. Every rustle, every creak made me jump. The panic grew inside me, a tangle of fear and paranoia. I was about to turn back when I noticed a figure in the distance, sitting on a bench. It looked like a man, but he was wrapped in a long, dark coat, with a hat pulled down over his eyes. I decided to head home, but the path seemed longer than usual. Every step I took seemed to echo in the darkness, amplifying my terror. The more I walked, the closer the figure on the bench seemed to get, despite not moving. My heart pounded in my chest, and a sense of panic began to grow inside me. Suddenly, the figure stood up and started walking towards me. I tried to quicken my pace, but my legs felt like lead. When he was finally close enough, I could see his face. He had a creepy smile and eyes that shone with an unnatural, almost hypnotic light. A shiver of adrenaline ran down my spine, making me tremble. "I've been waiting for you," he said in a voice that made my blood run cold. His words echoed in my mind like a sinister echo. "I have something for you." Before I could react, he handed me an old wooden box. His hands were cold as ice and trembled slightly. The box was decorated with intricate carvings and looked ancient. "Open it only when you are alone," he added, then turned and disappeared into the darkness, leaving me with 1,000 questions and a growing sense of terror. Once home, I sat at the table with the box in front of me. I hesitated for a moment, observing the details of the carvings and feeling the weight of curiosity growing. I slowly opened the box, and inside I found an old photograph. It was a picture of me as a child, in a playground I didn't recognize. But there was something else. In the background, you could see the same figure I had met earlier, with the same creepy smile. As I stared at the photo, I heard a whisper behind me. A cold shiver ran down my spine, and terror paralyzed me. I turned and saw that figure, now clearly visible in the dim light of my kitchen. "Do you remember me?" he asked. "I've always been with you." I realized it wasn't a chance encounter. That being had followed me all my life, appearing at the strangest moments and leaving me with a sense of unease. I started to remember episodes from the past, shadows moving in my room as a child, whispers in the dark, and that feeling of being watched. "It's time for you to know the truth," he said, getting closer. "I am your oldest nightmare, born from your childhood fear, and now I've come back to stay." I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. The figure came even closer, and everything went black. I woke up in the morning still sitting at the table with the box open in front of me. The figure was gone, but the terror remained, trapped inside me like a persistent shadow. If this story gave you chills, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more stories of fear and mystery. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. I'll see you in the next story, if you have the courage to come back. Thanks for listening, and remember, never open a mysterious box alone, especially at night.